Well, good morning. Today's August 16th. It's a beautiful day here in southern Connecticut. It's probably around 10 a.m. Susan and I are out for a bike ride. And today I'm going to be talking about getting started with bike computers. Wow, it's a great day. Beautiful day. We had a real lousy day yesterday weather-wise. And today is a transitional day. There's a cold front coming through, and our humidity level is going to be dropping quite a bit in the next hour or two. So consequently, we got a little bit of a northwest breeze blowing us around a little bit this morning, but feels great. Love it when the weather changes like this and we get a nice, refreshing, cool air mass coming through. So, I'm going to take a left-hand turn here. Talking about bike computers this morning. And I am going to be talking about bike computers strictly from my level of experience and what I went through and first trying to find what I want to use and what I should be using as a bike computer as a cyclist just starting out. Morning. Good morning. So in general, there's two basic categories of bike computers. Those with and without GPS capabilities, or GPS enabled. Any bike computer without a GPS is relatively inexpensive, cheap to buy, but that's not to say that they are not function rich. One of the last things in your as a budget item when you're first getting into cycling, obviously you put your money into your bike, your clothing, your shoes, your safety equipment, helmet, lights, safety glasses, goggles, whatever you want to call it, sunglasses. So you get all those things taken care of, and that generally eats up most of your budget, especially if you're on a budget getting into cycling. So that's the position I was in. I got into road biking at a very entry-level, low-end bike. And as I began riding, like everyone else, the first two questions that you generally have after you've been riding for even a short period of time is, what is my speed and what is my distance? How fast am I going? How far am I riding? So that's the main function of your bike computer. It will keep track of that information for you and display it to you as you are riding along. The inexpensive way to go is a bike computer that does not have GPS. And for me, I went and I looked at the various model bike computers that were offered by Sigma, S-I-G-M-A. That's the brand name. And they basically have quite a few options, quite a few models to select from, and just about all their models come in two variations, one being a wireless variation, which means that the bike computer sits on your handlebars or on your stem, but it's not physically connected to the sensors that generally are attached to your wheel or your crank. So to begin with, if you're interested in riding along and being able to see how fast you're going at the time and how many miles you have ridden at the time without spending a lot of money, I strongly recommend you buy a Sigma bike computer to handle that. Prices vary between different models that they have. and whether or not you're going wireless or not. But in general, you're probably not going to spend any more than $40 on a bike computer that's going to tell you everything you want to know. It'll give you your speed, your distance, your average speed. It'll have an odometer to keep track of all the miles that you have ridden. Your max speed. And of course, time of day and things of that nature. The thing that I would suggest if you are first getting into road biking and are looking at bike computers and want to get something on a budget, I would opt for the version of the Sigma bike computer that also provides you with your cadence information. Cadence is the RPM at which you are spinning your pedals. It may seem like, why do you need to know that when you're first getting into road biking? But eventually you're probably going to want to do either a little bit of training or help manage some of your endurance rides by trying to keep track of what your cadence is as you are riding along. Not to get off topic too much, but cadence helped me a lot in terms of increasing my endurance and increasing my speed by trying to stay at the 80 plus RPM level. For the longest time, I was riding without a cadence meter or cadence metric value being displayed to me. And I would very often, almost immediately, shift to a bigger gear than I should be in. Push a little bit harder than I probably should have if I had just stayed in a lower gear and kicked up my RPM. So if you're going to be looking around for Sigma bike computers to begin with, pay attention to the features that are offered and see if you can find one that does provide you with the cadence sensor. And again, opt for the wireless version of the bike computer if you can afford it. It's a few more bucks. The reason I like the wireless version of these bike computers is that, first of all, if you get the ones with wires, you gotta wrap the wires around your body, your bike frame, and forks and all kinds of places to route the sensor connection back to the head unit. And there may come a time when you want to move up to a different, more expensive bike computer, GPS type, and that'll mean you'll have less wires and things to untangle from the install of the Sigma bike computer.